So, Another Crab's Treasure might be my game of the year, and I'm really excited to talk about why I think that's the case. Hi, my name is Kurosh, and welcome to another episode of the KJP Show, where we celebrate and elevate indie games and game developers. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my games that I played this year, Another Crab's Treasure. I'm excited to talk about what I think about it, my review of it, and maybe why it could be my game of the year. So, Another Crab's Treasure is an independently developed game by AgroCrab, and this game has you playing as Krill, a hermit crab, in an action RPG game where you're in search of your home kind of hermit shell, and that kind of journey takes you into places you did not expect to go. And the story scales from this small little adventure of searching for treasure in your shell to things way beyond that on oceanic kind of like levels of scale. So right now this game is available pretty much everywhere, and I'm just out the gate want to say I really implore you to try this game. It's one of my favorites this year, and I've really enjoyed what I've been looking forward to this game for some time now. I kind of want to talk about that journey. I was first introduced to this game last year in 2023 at PAX West in Seattle, where I was roaming the floor with my friends, and we were checking out a bunch of the games there, and we see this booth, and they had their booth just decorated in all kinds of fashion of like this old kind of sea shanty, like a shop on the harbor or something with fishnets and everything. And I got a chance to talk to the developers there, and they were super cool and just having a blast being there. After talking to them for a bit, though, they finally gave me a chance to try the game out. And I gotta say, after trying this game, the humor is one of the first things I really want to talk about, and some of the features that I want to go into is how they blend humor into everything. And if you check out AgroCrab's socials anywhere, you'll kind of get a sense of what that humor is already, just like in how they approach everything. But in the game, there's tons of crustaceous references made throughout the whole thing that it's playful. It's not too ham-fisted, but it's just right, in my opinion, where they go from changing verbiage to like, instead of bullshit, it's bullshit. God damn it. And they even have a villainous character in the game called Roland Venture Crapitalist. And they make references to the Crab Rave song. So everything like that could relate to oceanic stuff, crabs, or all this stuff, it's just all there. And they even, honestly, now that I think about it, they make some references to just other games too. And they're hidden secrets throughout the game, so it's to be found, but I don't want to spoil those surprises. But whenever I saw one of those, it just brought a smile to my face. And what it does so well is it blends this humor with the Soulslike combat and gameplay that it offers. The studio's big fans of the FromSoft Bloodborne's, Dark Souls, Sekiro's, and such. And so a lot of the action, if you're familiar with those styles of games, this game you should expect the big boss fights. You should expect level designs that really come at you with surprises and challenges in a similar vein as those FromSoft games. What really makes this blend of what Another Crab's Treasure is doing with that style of gameplay, with the FromSoft Souls-like stuff, is the changes it decides, the choices they make that make it kind of be different, that are risky in some ways, you would say. And those choices kind of focus in on the accessibility options. And when I'm talking about the accessibility options, I'm really talking about, so what this game does is it has all these options. If you go to the settings, it's got all these options for accessibility and assist. It's kind of an assist mode of sorts. And you can go through at any given point in the game and turn these on or off. And what these accessibility options do is they can change anything from parry windows to extra health or less health for enemies, or taking less damage from falling, preventing loss of materials on death, to some that are just straight up like one-hit kill options for Krill. And they do all of these in ways like some of these I think you'll find funny how they have them. Some of them are just switches that you turn on and the settings just change. So I implore you, even if you're not interested in those, you should just try them out just to see what it is, what the experience is. And so these options and these accessibility features, or the lack thereof, I should say, are always a point of conflict or conversation in the Souls-like community. There's always a conversation or dialogue that, the experience that is presented to you is the one they want you to have, and that's fair. I'm not saying one side is right or wrong. It's more so that there's enough games out there, I think, of this ilk that it's nice to have some with these options, and that Aggro Crab has made the choice here to allow for those options to be there. I gotta say, from my own experience, I've tried my initial attempts at these FromSoft style games was with Demon's Souls and with Bloodborne, and I immediately bounced off them. It wasn't until years later where Elden Ring came out and it provided some more options and more freedom of choice, I should say, of how I approached the game, that I was more enticed to do it. I loved Elden Ring, and I went on to go back to and try, and I ended up beating Sekiro, which is another grueling one. But because it kind of let me do it at my pace, at the way in which I wanted to approach that, and learn to build into it, I learned that I even liked it. I didn't think that at first I did at all, because it just right out the gate with those prior games, it just presents it up front, right in your face. And I think that's what we get with games like this, with Another Crab's Treasure, is you get an experience where you can choose to, you can see for yourself if this is even the style of thing you want to get into. And if you don't, just toggle those options to kind of make it more of the experience you'd like it to be. At the end of the day, there's no one taking anything away from the people that are trying things in a harder way or in a more challenging way. Props to them. Like, it's impressive when they do that stuff. I definitely respect the work, the challenges they go through, but I want to also be part of the ability to play these games, because the worlds are so cool. Like, they build in those games, and especially with Another Crab's Treasure, they present a really wonderful world. They present really cool levels and a lot of creativity that I just feel like I can now explore and enjoy. And I gotta say, that aside, Another Crab's Treasure has other things that I love about it too. So with Krill, he's searching for a specific hermit shell in his initial kind of like story taking off. But over the course of the game, you get other shells, or you use other shells, and each of these shells has a different ability. There's a lot of them in the game, and like each of them has a different ability that it offers you to play with and to try out. And so each of them, it offers a lot of different play styles, and you can kind of store them, you can upgrade certain things and abilities. I definitely vibed with one in particular. It was I think it was the bottle cap. And what that one does is it kind of gives you this Shoryuken style attack that you can do if you have enough of a certain ability, or it's like mana or energy. And then to go further into the RPG side of it, there's a few things that it does that I like with that aspect as well. It allows you to invest in different playstyles. There's 3 kinds of ways of the crab, and each of them, whether one of them is more aggressive, aggro in some ways, and another is more in the kind of the parry style, which many I know Soulslike fans love, and another one is more in the kind of sneaky stealth combat style. And so you can, at any given point, you can kind of explore. By the end of the game, you should be able to afford exploring all of these abilities and skill sets, but you can choose how you want to approach which ones, when you want to invest in which ones, and at any given point, you can reset that as well. So I love that it's flexible in all this and offers you, like, how do you want to play this game? I have to say, like, just all this being said, I loved every minute of this game. I've been looking forward to it. I was worried I was overhyping it, but it did not disappoint. The story is fantastic. I was smiling ear to ear numerous times in this game. And its journey kind of starts on this, like I said, in the super small scale of like just a guy looking for a treasure. And it blows up into proportions that I did not expect it to go. And it reminded me in some ways of like animes that I watch, where like the story starts here and now you're fighting like God in some ways. And like I think Final Fantasy jokes made that way. And so yeah, I highly recommend this game. The gameplay is tons of fun, whether you're just adventuring out in the world, exploring little things. It's got a surprising amount of platforming as well, which is a lot of fun. There's some puzzles that involve how you platform, and there's one particular challenge. If you know which challenge I'm talking about, it's towards the end of the game, and you get a specific armor shell. So if you got that one, or if you tried that challenge, let me know, because that was when I was like, this is almost like intense Mario levels of platforming, where there's like a timer and stuff. So I don't want to spoil too much else, but let me know if you've tried that challenge and what you think. But yeah, the levels, the platforming, and then the unique boss fights are an absolute joy. Like, each one is unique in its own way and really fun to fight. And I gotta say too, quick bonus points for having some of the coolest music in any game I've played this year. I'm gonna play a little bit of it here, but go check out the soundtrack to this game. It's on Spotify now, and you should listen to the music in this game. It's so good. So is Another Crab's Treasure my game of the year? It goddamn might be. I think right now for me, Another Crab's Treasure is setting the bar for what I'm looking for this year, and I don't know what game I've played thus far that has been so like comprehensive in what it offers and what I enjoyed out of it. This game for me, in terms of a final grade, gets an A+. I want to say that for the record. I applaud Aggro Crab for what they did here. They've been really big with the speedrunning community. Right now, I've been seeing a lot of stuff online of like people trying attempts at official percentage speedruns and stuff, and they're just really invested in like the game and what they've put out there. I'm hoping I can get a Krill plushie. It's sold out before I could get it. And so that's my review. I'm curious, did you play Another Crab's Treasure? If so, what'd you think? And like, did anything I say vibe with you? Are you interested in playing it? I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences, or if you have any questions as well, I'd love to hear that as well, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And that's another episode of my show. My name's Kurosh, and this has been the KJP Show, where we celebrate and elevate indie games and game developers. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. This is a game that I've been really excited to do a review for, so thank you for watching. If you've watched any bit of this, I appreciate your time. And until next time, catch you later.